Hello, this is Brian with Rockstar Roofing. Let's talk about insurance claims. I'm going to go over a claim. This is from Safeco Insurance, great insurance company, never had any problems out of Safeco. That is an eagle view of your house. That is the measurements that the insurance company will send you. That'll show you the actual measurements of your home. That gets you the measurements here, and all these are kind of showing the facts here as far as what is on the shingles and stuff, what's the quantity that's out there. And realize that most insurance companies go to ITIL pricing. All insurance companies have what's called Xactimate. This is really just turn around and getting how much your pricing is for your roof. So when they ask you to go get quotes, there's no need to get a quote. They already have it in their computer system. We use the same process, which is Xactimate. They can pull up and know the square footage of your home, to know how many squares of shingles you're going to use, the linear foot of ridge, and they know all of this information when they're pulling it on a deal. They also calculate based off of your house what you would have in waste. So that's a calculation for waste. It lists out every part of your house, the shingles, whether you not have extra like a shed or a shop, if that's covered as well. They'll charge what's called a steep charge. If your house has a 712 to a 912 pitch, they give an extra allowance because of being on a steep roof and the danger behind it. So they do give you an allowance for that. So they're coming up with a value in your house. That's what it's saying right here. That value right there, the $19,000 and something on the house, that is the replacement cost value of the home. Whenever they're saying the replacement cost value of the home, that's what they're telling you the whole project. They'll pull up the value of the home. When they pull up the value, that's where you get into the deductible side of it, and we'll do it in a different video. So that $5,000 and change 697 is exactly 1% of the value of the home. That's when they're saying 1 or 2%. So if it's 2%, it will be double this amount. So it would be, $11,000 deductible. So $19,000 was the claim. $768 was held out for debris removal. That's all the trash being removed out of the old shingles being taken off and dumped at the dump site. The $5332 is what's called recoverable depreciation, total recoverable depreciation, which that's what this says right here. Less recoverable depreciation. They are not paying it in the beginning. They want you to see you complete a roof by a licensed roofing company or a roofing company, turn in all the documentation. They will issue that check back to the homeowner, and then you could pay it back to your contractor. But that's what they're saying is that's what they're holding back on the job until it's complete. So that would leave a net check of that $13,000 when they take that off of there. Well, then they'll take a $13,000 because they're going to pay that on the back end. This right here is your deductible amount. Remember, we said it was 1%, $56.97. So they're taking that amount minus that $56.97. That's the first check that will be issued. They want you, the customer, to pay the deductible. You're supposed to write the check to the contractor, and then they'll issue out the first check to get the job going. It'll be this plus this, usually goes on the first day of completion to your contractor. That's what's going to happen on that deal. The recoverable depreciation, after your contractor turns in all the paperwork, that's what will come back and get paid back to your contractor, plus any supplements that might happen on the actual claim itself. So you can just see net estimate, $8,000, that's the first check. And it says total net recoverable depreciation and cost incurred. That would be the debris removal and everything else. They come up to that with tax, like $6,100. That's the back end check. When they say back end money or the last check, that's what it'll be. So it's going to be this check from your insurance company, this check when the job's completed equals this, and you pay that to the contractor. That's your deductible. The main thing is sit down with your roofer and go over it in detail. If they're not being transparent and explaining everything to you, that's a problem. We at Rockstar Roofing, I'll explain everything, top to bottom. You got questions, ask me 50 questions. It's fine. And the more educated you are, the more you know about it, the more comfortable and the more you have trust in Rockstar Roofing to get your job done.